full full agenda today, sort of our mid-year review, and I'm going to, because what would otherwise be included in announcements will be included as part of the review. Um, I'm going to go ahead and get started and start really with the vlog, if you will, District Governor Scott Rainey, uh, which he sent out recently pertaining to the um, fact that January is a vocational service month. And I've asked Vanu to play that vlog for us, and then we'll proceed from there. Vanu?
Hi ho, hi ho, hi ho, hi ho, hi ho, hi ho. It's home from work we go.
Hey, District 5890. I'm here in my office. It's actually a Ram pickup truck. Rotary was founded as a business networking organization. Members have a dual responsibility to represent their occupations within their club and exemplify the ideals of Rotary in their places of work. Rotary emphasizes the importance of bringing together diverse business professional leaders for the purposes of exchanging ideas, developing relationships, and improving communities. Rotary members are committed to professional development and advancing their skills, as well as guiding and training others to find fulfilling employment. Networking should be an integral part of your Rotary experience. Partner in business with Rotarians you partner with in service. When I needed a roof, I called Skeeter Braun at Braun's Roofing. When I needed a banker, I called Mike Cornett at Texas Citizens Bank. And if I need an earth mover, I'm calling Kenny Werner. And heck, if y'all want to trade some petrochemicals, call me. We all know COVID has taken its toll on many businesses and jobs. Win-Win of the E-Club suggested we hold a district-wide job networking event to address this issue and help Rotarians connect and find opportunities. So we're going to do just that on Tuesday, January 12th.
I'm joined now with Win-Win, and we're going to talk about networking and how Rotarians can utilize vocations to help other Rotarians. Win is a member of the E-Club, and he's an insurance broker here in Houston. Now, Win, we were talking the other day, and you had the idea about holding a networking event. What did you have in mind? What was your inspiration for that?
My inspiration came from, just in the situation like this whole global pandemic. We have people staying home. We have people laying off. The economy is really, really bad. And as a Rotarian, I think it's a great, tremendous service to everyone to have a networking event where we can refer business to each other, help people find jobs, or just helping hand with each other, and just to make sure that everyone's okay.
Where would you consider yourself in your career path? Are you a young professional? Are you in the middle? How do you consider yourself?
I still consider myself young professional because I still have a lot of development to do. I still have a lot of growth.
See Rotary as having a role in a mentor situation or anything like that for the younger members, or what would attract the young professionals to Rotary?
Well, young professional, I think what will make it very attractive is having the nurture component inside Rotary, where we can have mentor, mentee, just reaching out to each other, say hello to each other, and just advice, because like in Rotary, we have a lot of seniors Rotarian that have a lot of years and experience in business, and they can play an integral part in a young professional mentor capacity, or just give them business advice, prevent them from making big mistake in business, and just support them. And this is how we're able to grow more members in the district, providing this type of service and have something for them to do. In any relationship, I believe in bridge building, right? Because in bridge building, we have two people in relationship, and both of these people need to work together to be in a relationship. So as a young professional, and also for any other seasonal Rotarian, we need to work with each other by learning about each other.
Well, Win, can you give us just a quick overview of what your idea is and our goals are for the networking event on January 12th?
The goal for January 12th is to have an online meeting where we can learn about each other's profession and how can we help each other as far as job referral, as far as referral service to each other or business to each other, and just to learn what each other do. And that way, in the future, for future references, we can refer different people to our friends that in Rotary that can help that business. Because I know Art, he's a mechanic, and I'm not sure if everyone in the district know that he's a mechanic, so they can go to him and he can fix their car. The more we expand, the more we have an interest for different Rotarians that want to develop this program, we can expand it out and we can have more referral. We have more opportunity in Rotary for businesses and just help each other out.
Absolutely. Based on what you and I have discussed, hopefully this is just the first of a series, and maybe that will help us engage not only Rotarians and help them, Rotarians, to do business with those that you serve with. And maybe we can also utilize that as a recruitment tool to other people too as well, helping them in this time of difficulty. Wynn, you're a great inspiration and a great Rotarian. I want to thank you for coming up with this idea and all the work that you're doing for Rotary and help out our community. Thanks so much.
One of the greatest things Rotary does is sponsor scholars, and that includes Peace Scholars. When we have one this year, our district has selected Jeremy Houston to be our Peace Scholar, to represent us, to take his vocation and apply it to those who are most in need. And I want to introduce you to Jeremy.
Greetings, Rotarians. My name is Jeremy Houston, and I've been selected as a 2021 Rotary Peace Fellow, assigned to the one-year professional development program at the Rotary Peace Center at Makerere University in Kampala, Uganda. You know, my selection is really a great thing for the district. It's also a tremendous privilege for me to have an opportunity that I can continue to discern throughout the coming year, and should everything align, actually go to Uganda in October 2021, work with Rotary clubs there, work with the university in service to those communities. I want to say a special thank you to District 5890, Katy Rotary Club, as well as Scott, Carol, Stuart, and Lisa, and the larger population of Rotarians throughout the city of Houston. Thank you again for your service with Rotary. I look forward to keeping you updated as things progress.
District 5890, it's an exciting time. And you know, I want us all to figure out, how can we come together? How can we use our vocation in service? How can we do business with those we act with in service? That's an exciting time. That's what we want to do. Let's come together for this networking event on January 12th. If you have a job to offer, bring it. If you're looking for a job, bring it. If you're just looking to make sure people know what you do and network and create some business opportunities, do that. Let's seek opportunities. Let's go and serve like a champion today.
So outstanding vlog by Governor Boomer, and I have the Zoom information that I'll be sending out to the membership where we can each log in to the meeting. It is Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, June 12th, from 6:30 to 7:30, and once you get this information, I would encourage you to, jump in there and, let everybody know what you do. In the case, in my case, also Bob Price and other lawyers, Paul Harris was a lawyer in Chicago. And so, never hurts to get your face out, let people know what you do. I'm sure that there are a number of Rotarians that over the years that have used Dr. Haglund's services for their pets, and so by all means join in this meaningful program this coming Tuesday.
Bill, you didn't mention that you were the answer to one of the quizzes.
Why don't you elaborate on that?
Well, Scott asked a couple of quiz questions, and the first one was name 2 club presidents that are shown in the vlog.
Well, that's true, and I did have. I was one of the presidents that sent in a photo, and I will candidly tell you that I took a picture with a hat on and one without a hat, and I think the one without a hat had so much reflection and glare that he decided to go with the orange hat, much I'm sure to the chagrin of Dr. Haglund. But nevertheless, it was taken outside our firm. So, but we had a lot of fun with that. So, and as it relates to the district, and I know that for those of you who are not necessarily familiar with district matters, but I did want to mention, just in passing, the outstanding participation of this club within the district. Um, I think that just looking at the numbers, I would say at least 20%, close to 20% of our club is participating with the district in some manner. I mean, you start with, of course, past district governors Chris Schneider and Eric Liu, whose participation is ongoing. Eric is working closely with Rotary International. Chris is working tirelessly with the district, in particular with the upcoming conference that will be here in 2022. But in addition to that, you've got Bill Haglund is Lieutenant Governor of the district. Sheila is the district secretary. Gwen is the chair of the Peace and Conflict Resolution and has Dakota Stormer working with her. James Brown is an assistant governor. Licky Keeley is working on the program for a COVID website, or not website, but figuring out locations for this distribution of the shot. We've had Paul Vo, who's worked not only on the COVID food delivery program, but also with materials with the vaccine as well. And in addition, I've been blessed as well to be district parliamentarian for a number of years and do the celebration of life. And I know Lindsay, for example, is on the district conference committee and is chairman of the tennis program, and is also the chair of the International Tennis Fellowship. So, we are participatory in that regard. And just as a matter, before I move on, I'll be attending proudly on behalf of the club at the Rotary Pets, which is February 22nd through the 28th, virtually this year, instead of being able to go to Dallas for that. But that'll just be an opportunity to avoid having to room with Haglund this time. So moving ahead, I did want to mention in passing, just insofar as it relates to the status of our relocation. There's been some discussion about where we're going to wind up. And I think, as you are aware, we have had conversations with the folks at the Racket Club, and the price of doing business over there, upwards of $30 per meal, is just not acceptable. So at this point, we are looking, I think, at facilities such as Chapelwood, which has a catering service, and some others that promise to be more along the lines of a price that is more affordable and is something that we can do on a weekly basis. However, I think that, and this is something that's being done throughout the district, those clubs that almost uniformly have maintained a Zoom presence, even when they go back into having live meetings, because we have seen that having a Zoom component to our meetings boosts membership, boosts involvement, and helps us to be in a position to access members that might otherwise not be present. Secondly, I did want to mention going forward, historically, each Rotary year is sort of kicked off in addition to the watermelon program in July, but we kick off with the Spring Branch Health Fair in August. And unfortunately, this year, because of the pandemic, the event was not held in person nearly to the extent that we have been able to do it in the past and involve so many of our members in the operation of the event on the Saturday that it's held. But notwithstanding that, the club has received a district grant, $3,000 for that, and we will be funding a like amount for the Spring Branch Health Fair because it did have a component to provide shots for students in advance of their starting the year. It simply was not something that they were able to allow us to participate in on a large basis. So again, the health fair is a staple. It was essentially the idea initially, I think, with Diane Jackson and Eric Blue and some others in the club just to start it. And it began slowly, but it's now taken off like a house on fire. And it provides an integral service to the children and families of the Spring Branch ISD in an area that is low income. And it's something that is a large part of what we do. Moving on, if you will, insofar as what we're doing with Spring Branch, and insofar as working with youth, Paul Doe has been working with the Westchester Academy Interact Club. Paul is twice, he and his significantly better half have gone out twice, at least twice, with the students at Westchester to clean up beaches, and they did receive recognition at one point by District Governor Bob Gebhardt on his website, who happened to run into them as they were doing their work. And in addition, I think a number of individuals in the club provided donations to the Funky Socks campaign that Paul initiated with the group. I have lost my socks to my family members. I think Bill Haglund was kind enough to purchase socks to give out to the members at Turning Point. Is that right, Bill?
Actually, the club bought $300 worth of socks, which provided 75 pair of socks to the people at Turning Point, and they were greatly accepted at Christmas time by them. They were able to pick out the socks they wanted, or a pair of socks that they wanted, and they were very, very pleased with the socks. I think they're probably wearing them now proudly.
Excellent, excellent. Well, and that provides another segue into, Vanu, I know that Bill may have sent you a summary of our disbursements. Did you get that earlier?
Yes, I did. Here you go.
All right, can you post that? Okay, what Vanu has posted there is a list of these are disbursements that have, in addition to the watch raffle, These are disbursements that have been made from July 1 of 2020 through this date. Now, in terms of scholarships, these are actual, based upon what, as I understand it from Bill, these are scholarship amounts, not that we are awarding this year, but these are scholarship amounts that have been previously awarded, and these are dollars that have been funded with regard to prior recipients to date. But in addition, we've also, through Charities Inc., which is the charitable entity affiliated with the club, we've also made donations to the Indian Doctors Club Charity Clinic, the Raya School, the Crystal Foundation, Turning Point Project, the East Spring Branch Food Pantry, West Houston Outreach Center, Westchester Academy, the Funky Socks program that Bill mentioned, and Operation Turkey, which occurred late in the year, which was a district project. So you're seeing that our footprint from the club, even though we haven't been able to meet in person, our work is ongoing, and the contributions that we're making to these groups has been ongoing, notwithstanding our having to do things virtually. I also want to sort of segue then over into, and I'll come back to the fundraising, but I want to mention several things from an international standpoint. I would absolutely be remiss if I did not mention first and foremost that we have seen during this Rotary year the essentially the culmination in the finishing of the outstanding program that was initiated through the hard work of the Barris family with Lawrence and Jonathan, and also Lawrence's wonderful father, the late Lenny Barris. As many of you know, Lawrence and Lenny were from, I believe, Port Elizabeth in South Africa, and were members of the Algoa Bay Club. And through a joint effort with Lawrence and this club and Rotary, we were able to provide a school, low-income school that had only one toilet for well in excess of hundreds of kids. We have now provided 10 toilets to that school through the work and the generosity of so many people, but the event would not have happened without the sweat equity that was put into it through the Barris family. And I would also mention as an aside that, you know, Lawrence and Charlene were coming back from South Africa when, you know, for a program highlighting this event, when they contracted COVID, I guess, in the first instance back in March. So that is our footprint around the world. But going beyond that, as I mentioned back in July, one of the things that I wanted to do was to see if we could get a sister city relationship. And to that end, our international service chair, Lindsay Kroll, has worked with Miguel and Maria Ottaviano, who are former members of our club, And we now have a sister city relationship, thanks to Lindsay's hard work, with the Carlos Paz Rotary Club in Argentina. And I know that Miguel they've had some trouble getting out of the starting blocks because of fires in the area, and also he personally has had some home restoration matters that he's been dealing with. But the Sister City Club relationship is in place, and is something that we will be working with them in the near future. And I think it's also a plus that we do have a personal relationship with Miguel and Maria. We know the quality of people that they are, and obviously, I think based upon Lindsay has told all of us in the past what a fine group of people the Carlos Paz Rotarians are. And while I'm on the subject of international, I also want to give a particular shout out, and this relates, I think, to a core group of individuals, and I want to call particularly the Indo-American group of members that we have. Ashok Gar, the new, Dr. K.T. Shah, Dr. Shukla, and of course, past president J. Aliwaya, all of whom worked tirelessly for us in so many ways. And in particular, their participation, which often sort of flies under the radar, unfortunately, because Club 24, which is a group of Indo-American businessmen, has provided thousands and thousands of dollars of support to our club and our charities. And gentlemen, we thank you for all of that. And also, I think you have received notifications from Jay, who is the director of the Indo-American Chamber of Commerce, inviting us to Zoom meetings for his programs. And I would strongly urge you to, when you get those, to join in. And those are excellent speakers that they have on a week-to-week basis. And I would strongly encourage you to partake of those, because they are worthwhile. Next, and I'm mindful of the clock, so to speak, but next I want to mention fundraising. And Andy Ashok Garg is our fundraising chair, and I cannot thank you enough, Ashok, for the outstanding work that you have done, and not only this year, but in all of the years that we've had the watch raffle. And we were already averaging just under $25,000 per year for the watch raffle. But this year, thanks to not only the generosity of the club, but also the generosity of several donors after the conclusion of the program, and we had the drawing for the raffle. Our final tally for the watch raffle this year was $35,745.53, and which far and away exceeds any number that we have had before. I think the highest that we've had before was just under 26,000. So Andy, thank you very much for all your hard work.
You're all welcome. And thank you.
Well, secondly, I want to also mention that And I know that Bill mentioned our our guest Grizzly Adams, but Grizzly Adams, who also known as Graham Dunlap, is the chair of our golf tournament. And I'm pleased to say that the rescheduled day of the golf tournament for the Memorial Spring Ranch Rotary is going to be on Friday, March 26th. And so if any of you are anxious to get out and break those sticks out and have a little fellowship, well, then March 26th is going to be your day. And Graham has just gotten through setting that up for us, and we'll have more flyers and information going out. Graham, do you want to say anything about that?
No, just that we're really excited to have everybody. We hope to obviously put on a golf tournament at a time when maybe things are a little bit more settled from a health perspective, but also plan to host the tournament in a way that anybody who has reservations can feel safe and comfortable, including mask wearing. Hopeful to have some, I think, little things of hand sanitizer for folks as well. And I'm open to any feedback on what people have seen done successfully or what we can do to make participants feel as comfortable and safe as possible for the tournament.
Yeah.
And I just got a new golf bag, so expect my game to really be on point. I've heard that the bag is actually the most important thing about your game. So
It is. Although I will say that with my golf game, usually I need to carry a pistol where my shots wind up. So, Vanu, what?
Okay, so that's a Friday. So are we going to meet on Friday or not?
We will not have a meeting that day because we'll be golfing.
All right. Okay.
So
I'll update my schedule.
Okay.
I still have some Brookdale water koozie bottle holders for that. So whenever you're ready, let me get those to you.
Okay.
yeah.
And I have 250 Come Together Promotions ballpoint pens that need a home.
All right. Well, that's wonderful. Well, so put Friday, March 26th on your calendar, and you'll be hearing more about that as well. Moving on, one of the highlights of the Memorial Spring Branch Rotary year is a scholarship program. And thanks to the wonderful generosity of so many of our members and our friends, we will be funding 10 scholarships in the amount of $3,000 each this year. The schedule has been sort of outlined and set forth by Charities Inc. The interviews will be on May the 8th this year, although the program itself is in the works where we are getting essays from potential candidates and narrowing the field down. But the interviews for the youngsters will be on May the 8th. It is extremely important. I can't say enough about how we impact the lives of these kids, because so many of them come from families where the average income in the household is 25, at most $50,000, and there are frequently situations where they are one-parent households with multiple children, trying to make ends meet as best they can. And I'm sure that the scenario will be even more dire this year because of the pandemic. So what has transpired with your generosity in helping fund this, is absolutely incredible. Also, I want to mention, Vanu, if you would, very briefly, I think I may have mentioned this a week or two ago, or a meeting or two ago, the letter that we received from the Spring Branch. This is a letter that was received back in November from Spring Branch ISD, indicating that the club had again been named a good neighbor of the Spring Branch ISD. And obviously, we're very proud of this because we have historically had not only with one shopper and the new, but also in the past, we have had been able to have the superintendent of schools of Spring Branch as a member of the club as well. So this, and not only the scholarships, but some mentoring, and also the work that Paul has done with Westchester is the type of thing that has earned us this recognition. And last, certainly not least, I want to mention, in terms of club operations, some people that whose work is in helping me to provide meetings and oversee meetings every week. First and foremost, one of the things that I wanted to do was go back to a program that was in place when I began in the club, and that was trying to spread out the work of having meetings provided each week among the members of the club. And so this was an idea that Renew was orchestrating back then, and I asked him to do so this year. And I think that if you look at the meetings that we have had each week since July, not only have they been on a varied assortment of speakers, but the quality of the speakers has been outstanding. And in addition to that, Venu has been kind enough to record those programs and make all of the programs of the speakers available on YouTube. So I strongly encourage you to go back and revisit some of those meetings because they've been outstanding. And I've had the district governor and others have also really applauded your work in doing that on behalf of the club. So thank you very much. Also, Chris Schneider, our past district governor, has been kind enough every week to send out our invitation. He is the host of our Zoom meeting. And I know that this is something that is it has to be done, but it doesn't go unnoticed. And thank you very much for doing that. I want to also mention our secretary, Sheila Franklin, who does tireless work on behalf of the club. She's got our invoices out, which I might remind you to send in your dues if you haven't already. But anything that I need to ask of Sheila, she always does it cheerfully and thoroughly and correctly. And I thank you so much for that. And last, and certainly not least, I want to thank Mary DeBosch for her work in the social media arena. We've, I think, increased our visibility. Obviously, I think that the work that we're doing in social media is sort of an ongoing process because it's sort of new to all of us. But she has worked very hard to help that, and I think we'll only be getting better. What can we improve on? Well, we've got to find a permanent home, and we're going to do that. And we're going to do it in a manner that is going to be priced reasonably and not going to run people off because, I don't think $30 a meal is going to be anything that anybody wants to do. But we're going to do that. I think we do need to work on getting members, but at the same time, I think that will come, that will happen, and I think it will also be enhanced once we can get back into a mode of meeting personally. That's pretty much it in a nutshell for the first half. It has been my honor to serve as the president of this club. I will honestly tell you that I was talking to Laura about this club, and she said, you've been in other clubs before, but I love this club, and I love this club, and I love all the friends that I have in this club, and I could not be happier, and I could not be more honored to serve on your behalf. And so, I wish everyone a very, very safe and healthy 2021, and I'm confident that we're going to continue to do good things on behalf of Rotary and mankind. So thank you all for your work.